Hello, everyone. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Vander Vennen, and I am so excited to be able to share a little bit about who I am and how much I love being in education, and being around young people is just something that really I thrive in those circumstances. I will be honest, this is take two because I went a little bit too long, so I'm going to try to refine this a little bit. So, the first question is about leadership philosophy. Proudest examples. My leadership philosophy, and I have learned how to develop this over the years, is servant leadership. I will really continue to challenge those around me, whether it's peers, colleagues, or even students. But my leadership is that I'm going to challenge those to continue to grow in the craft and the career and the opportunities, but I will walk right alongside you. I am not the type of administrator or even teacher that will cast a vision and just wait for you to get to the end of that. I will cast a vision and say, okay, here's how we're going to do this together. Because I think that's one of the best examples you can do, is to show people that their time is valuable, their resources and their effort is valuable, and not just to throw it out there and expect people to learn things on their own. So I love to be able to partner with teachers to say, here's where we need to go. How does it look like to get there? And what are the steps that I can do to support you? And I don't take this lightly, but there are times where supporting a teacher is just saying, let me take your recess duty. Let me sit in here with lunch. I don't know what lunch is like, but we have it currently in the classroom. So those are things that are really important, and it shows teachers and people that they are valued. And when people know they're valued, they're willing to work. I think all of us continue to have things to grow in as educators, that we need people to support us. So specific example is, we have staff meetings that are 2 to 3 times a month, and they are intentional. And one of the things at my current school is to support them in becoming 21st century school, because we have 21st century learners. So I got iPads. I was found a way to get iPads for everyone, and I wanted to teach them really intentional usage for it. So we had stations set up. I also believe in using in-house people for being the experts. So we had Flipgrid, Quizlet, and Kahoot, and we had stations around, and we called it Appy Hour. So we learned about apps, and then we also then provided some appetizers to eat, and that allowed us fellowship and to kind of have some fun with it and show the Flipgrid videos. I think that's really good for morale, finding ways to continue to let them know they're seen and they're heard, because that's important for an educator to know. So I love that part of just even my position right now. Number 2 is really close to home for me, the mental health of staff and students. I think we can all agree that we've watched it take a real serious dive in the last 5 years, and COVID for sure is really one of the catalysts that has caused more anxiety, fear, depression, things like that. I look at kids some days and you think, boy, they're carrying more in their backpack than just their books and notebook. But this year in particular, I was intentional to hire someone to train as an SEL teacher/leader. They go into a classroom once a month and equip staff and students on how to deal with trauma, how to deal with big emotions. Students have big emotions now and have meltdowns, and we don't always know how to help them through it. But to give them an opportunity to reset. I have learned the art of pause, that when there are kids that are really learning to melt down, you'll find me sitting on a cold tile with them. It's sensory. You'll find us maybe walking the hallways. You might even find me watching someone as they need to sort of rock, and a student was banging their head against my file cabinet gently, but enough to say, I'm struggling, and to give them space to do that. I think it's so important that we equip teachers and also offer them an opportunity to learn for themselves how to deal with those things. So that's really close to my heart. The last one is researching the district in the middle school. I will be honest, I do happen to really love middle schoolers. They're so unique. You never know how they're going to come in one day to the next, but I like that about them. And I feel like I'm personally going on parenting a middle schooler for the 10th year in a row. 2 girls, 2 boys. I've had the drama. I've had the not able to sit still, all of those things rolled into one, and I really do truly love it. But one of the things I found as an area of strength is that I love that you're differentiating, and that's part of the about us. I am trained in differentiation to support teachers in that too, which ultimately supports the learners, is really important to me. And I also liked exploratory options. I don't 100% know what that means, but if it's providing different learning spaces and sometimes outside the four walls, I always see value in that. An area I'd like to learn a little bit more about and possibly grow in is that you mentioned a tradition of excellence, and I'd love to know what that means, because it's so great to have the pillars of tradition as a foundation, but I also love the exciting part of building on top of and expanding those, because it's not always healthy to always do something the way it's always been done. And I think we see that in whether it's our communities, our schools, our churches, our families. Traditions are beautiful as long as they sort of learn how to ebb and flow a little bit. So I look forward to potentially being able to work with this team. I think it's neat that you're doing a video so you can see how just myself in person, and I'm real excited to hear from you. So thanks for the opportunity.